All right, we've got some NBA players talking about the U.S. women's national team and the lack of coverage they've received, and of course, the lack of Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese being on the team. Grant Williams, of course, NBA player, former member of the Celtics, current member of the Hornets, is actually over there covering the games, and he put this tweet out about the coverage or lack thereof that the women have gotten. If we really want to move the W game forward, it's not just up to fans. It's also the coverage they receive. Being behind the scenes here at the Olympics, the difference between the men's versus women's post game is disrespectful, and the women deserve better internationally and domestically. Here's the thing: you can't make people care. You can't force them to care. Now, to the credit of the U.S. women's national team, they've won 60 games in a row. They're likely going to win another gold medal against France. They've played much better since Jackie Young has been put into the starting lineup. And there were plenty of people in the stands to watch their most recent games. So any of the attendance there in Paris is not really the argument. But we all knew this going in. That was what everybody said. Without Caitlin Clark, there wouldn't be as much attention or wouldn't be as much coverage. On the other side, if LeBron James wasn't there, there wouldn't be as much coverage. If Steph Curry wasn't there, there wouldn't be as much coverage. Kevin Durant, same thing. The gold medal, or not the gold medal game, the game to get to the gold medal against Serbia came down to the wire. There was drama. So, of course, it got more attention, especially when the three biggest stars of a generation of basketball were integral in the finish. Meanwhile, the U.S. women are dominating, and the biggest star in the sport's not there. So it's not going to be covered the same. This isn't hard. And when Clark wasn't chosen for the squad, that was one of the arguments. Fine, who cares? This is about basketball. Now, the basketball reason has also fallen flat on its face. But Grant Williams was not the only person to speak about this. Draymond Green also talked about it on his podcast that he has with The Volume. He was with Baron Davis, and they were discussing this matter. Let me play you the clip from that. I'll put the link in the description as well as the link to Women's Fast Break on SI.
I think Caitlin Clark should have been on the USA team.
Bro. I think so too.
Because
I think it's good for the brand.
It's great for the brand. And we talk brand any other time. Let's not act like it don't matter now.
Oh, man, it
matters.
It makes the most sense.
100%. If you think about what the 1992 Barcelona team, Dream Team, did for the brand of basketball,
yes,
the W is still are still in those phases of the NBA, right? Like the NBA during that, the W is there. So it must be about spreading this globally, and she's the biggest global star.
Man, we should have looked
in women's basketball. And listen, I think like the women we got over there, I think A'ja Wilson's going to be the GOAT. But like, just from a pure branding and marketing standpoint, Caitlin's the biggest. And so for her to not be on the team,
Angel Reese should have been on the team.
I agree.
Think so, because
for her not to be on the team, Angel Reese not to. I think for what they're doing for women's basketball,
bro,
that should matter. And by the way, what they showed you in this half a season is that I'm going to be one of them ones.
I'm one of them ones.
So it's okay
already
to bet on me right now because I'm going to be one of them ones. She's leading. Angel Reese is leading the league in double-doubles and broke the all-time record. Caitlin Clark is leading the league in assists on a historical pace. They've shown you we're going to be one of them
in
ones.
the first half of the season.
So
bro.
you can make that bet on me. It's cool.
Yeah.
Like,
so there's the basketball aspect of the conversation as well, because that was what people tried to say before. Not good enough, don't deserve it, what have you. Angel Reese, I'm with them too. Her star power, she has a magnetic star power, and her and Clark on the same team. We saw what that did for the WNBA All-Star game. Obviously, Reese does something that other players don't do. She doesn't need the ball to be effective, and she could be effective in that way. And her exploits overseas in Paris were already a big deal without being a part of the team on social media. And then Clark has been so good that it's now a ridiculous premise that she shouldn't have been there. But Draymond brought up something I brought up a lot, which is Barcelona. It is like leaving Michael Jordan at home when the Dream Team went to Barcelona, which helped this explosion in the game globally. Forgetting the WNBA, the explosion in the global game where the men can send the Avengers over there and still it not be a guarantee. I mean, they almost lost to Serbia. In the exhibitions, they almost lost to Germany. They almost lost to South Sudan. And when the Dream Team was around, that wasn't even a thought, an inkling, a possibility, none of those things. And they helped grow the game around the world, which could have happened here. It's over with. It's done with. It's crying over spilt milk, but people are still talking about it. And it goes to the point that I brought up in the past that this is a conversation that is never going to go away. It's not even when the Olympics are over, it's done. It's never going to go away. There are going to be Caitlin Clark biographies and documentaries and articles and books that reference this point in time. Maybe the same is for Reese as her career goes along as well. But, it's not, a here today, gone tomorrow kind of thing. It is a rejection of common sense. Now, with that said, did they need Caitlin Clark? Doesn't look like it. Right? Doesn't look like it. I don't think the U.S. women sent their best guards over there. Diana Taurasi is along for the ride at this point. Chelsea Gray, I don't think is physically ready to be back there yet or back at the level that she once played at as of yet. So it makes it a little bit more glaring. The front court is loaded. So the case for Reese is a little tougher on just a basketball standpoint, just because the players that are there, Asia Wilson and Brianna Stewart and Nafisa, and even Brittany Griner's not as effective as she once was, but just the size that she brings to the squad, that's a little harder. But the guards, it's plain and apparent. I mean, they had to switch the starting lineup to be the best version of themselves. And Jackie Young, who's just a terrific two-way player, has been big for the U.S. since that starting lineup change was made. But Grant Williams can be over there complaining about the lack of coverage they're receiving, but we knew it. This was a duh. We knew it going in. It wasn't going to be what it would have been if Clark had been there. It isn't. And the men have the biggest stars in the sport. Jason Tatum's not playing, and people are complaining about that, and he's off a championship, but Jason Tatum is not the star that LeBron or Durant or Curry is. If those guys weren't there and Tatum was playing, the men wouldn't be receiving as much coverage as they are right now. It's not hard to figure out.